Good morning. It's time for this little update. It's been a little while, and it's not because there hasn't been anything to talk about. I've just been a little bit too busy, uh, and things are on trail. I've got my routines, and I'm holding on to them. And it's been a couple of weeks now where my guest went home. The last set of guests, I've had a lot of visitors coming by in February, which has thrown me a little bit off because I'm not fanatic about my diet, but when I'm on my own and alone, I've got a rhythm that is easier to maintain than if I'm surrounded with people who has different feeding habits, both in terms of when they eat and what kind of food they eat. I want to be social. So I do accept why a lot of people might have issues with the good diets, because it's very, very difficult when you are in a social setting that maybe is not totally aligned with your way of doing it. But anyway, it's also been a very positive period. So much a positive period, I'd say, that when a friend of mine, he wrote to me online asking me how I was doing. And I gave him a bit rundown of all the positive things that's happened during the last few months here. But he was specifically asking for the PSA, and I told him as it is that I'm not an official treatment, but I'm still doing my own things. And he said, I hope it works for you. Now, that was a very well-meant comment, obviously, but for some reason it just knocked me off my balance. And it didn't take long, a few seconds, and I really absorbed it like a bad thing. And obviously it's not. He wished me all the best, but it was because for the last month or two, I have been absolutely 100% focused on all the benefits of what I'm doing, and there has been absolutely zero doubt in my mind that it is working. It's not been an option that it shouldn't be working. So when a friend of mine, he says, I hope it works, then it became a reminder of the fact that I don't know if it works. I mean, if I gotta be very mathematical about it, then I don't know it, because it belongs to the future and I'm doing things that has not been proven scientifically whether it works or not. So it's all based on assumption, it's all based on hopes, it's all based on faith. So for a short moment there, I got kicked out of my very glorious world perspective of being on track of something that really works, till being told that it might not. So yeah, I know it was very well meant, Tom. I know, I don't hold it against you, but it was a bit of a wake-up call. Anyway, the small change has been here. We are closing in on the next PSA date. It's about 2.5 weeks left. And this period of time, I haven't been using my curcumin. And I haven't done that because I ran out of the supplements that I bought, so I have to make it myself. I do have all I need to make it myself, and it's probably not something that will take me more than a half an hour to do, but I've never got around to do it. So I've decided to make this period of time be a period of time without curcumin and see what the effect might be, because I've got so many other good things going on. I started out in this period with amygdalin powder, which I've now just recently learned that it is not really working if you're only using amygdalin powder, because it needs 2 or 3 different ingredients in it. Can't remember what it was, but you got to mix it up yourself if you want it to work. And so the only way to solve that with the amygdalin is by actually eating the apricot seed yourself. So I've been looking for that, and I finally found it. And I got with the mail yesterday a small bag of apricot seed. But given the fact that I need about 40 seeds a day, as far as I can understand, there are people there are fluctuating between 40 and 75 seeds a day, and how expensive they are. I mean, you can't put a price on a life, so I don't want to go down there, but you still got to have the money to pay for it, right? And I've just bought a full kilo of it. It was 1,700 baht. I don't know how much that is in dollars, but it's not small money. And this small bag, I don't know how many grams it has, but I think it was about 100 grams, and I also paid a lot of money for that one. And it has, like, I don't know, 50 seeds, 60 seeds in it. And so if I'm gonna eat 40, that bag will be gone in a day and a half. So I'm very curious to see how it's going to be. But everybody says start out slow, do like 5 seeds a day or 5 kernels, and then in 5 days time, add another 5 with the increments of 5 every 5 days, and you'll get to your your distant amount. And I think 40 might be the right place. So that's one of the things that has been changed here. I'm also fully on track now on my cannabis oil. I've got worth of about 6 months of treatment if I do a 20% solution in my oil. And I'm kind of hoping that that's enough, because yesterday I tried out a new one I got, just finished it, called Night Move. It's got 26% THC average. I obviously don't know really how much my buds have, because I don't have a way to test it. So I can only go by the statistic. It might have more, it might have less, but averagely it's normally about 26% and 0% CBD. It was said to be a very good one for night times, and it makes you sleep well. If it's true or not, I don't know. I know I had the best sleep, I'd say, ever, if you're going to trust my watch. But I didn't take the Night Move before nighttime. I took my regular one, Squirrel Tail, and I took my regular half a milliliter of that one, which is a 10% solution. But in the morning I tested the Night Move, and I did that on a 25% solution, and I did a quarter of a milligram, which equals up to a full day doses in one go. I failed to realize that when I took it, but now I take 1 milliliter a day, which equals to 10% of a gram, which is, that's 0.1 gram. But in 0.25 milliliters of this 25%, it equals the full dose of 0.1 gram of CBD, or THC as it is. So I got knocked out, I really did. It was not a laughing topic. Everybody talks about laughing, but as a friend of mine also rightfully says, the effect of CBD oil is different than if you're sitting and smoking it. And I've never smoked in my life, and I'm not going to start now, not even because of this. Doing it the oil way is perfect for me. So anyway, it's a very kick-ass oil. I've been looking around, and there are different information depending on where you look. Some say it is the CBD that you want, that's the one that has the medicinal properties. Some says it is the THC, and the higher the THC, the better. If you're looking interview with Rick Simpson, who was the one who made the Rick Simpson oil popular, and that's why it's named that way, or made it known anyway. He insists in the interview that you gotta have as high a THC level as possible, while the entourage effect with the CBD obviously cannot be disputed. Then it is really the THC that makes the difference. So I don't know really which one is right, but I think that there's a lot of pushing towards the CBD being the medicinal thing, because that's the one you can sell without problems. In most places where they've got restrictions, you gotta go no more than 0.3% THC in your products. Otherwise, it is illegal. So obviously, there might be more information out there floating in terms of CBD, because everybody can do it, than the THC. But what I'm planning to do, to make a long story short, is instead of trying to find that very specific plant that holds a very high level of THC and equal level of CBD, then I would mix my two I've got already. The CBD version is the Sour Super Haze, which is 18% average of CBD, 1% THC. And then I've got another one called Night Move, a brilliantly beautiful one. It's the last one I made, very fantastic. And that was also the one I tested. And it has got 26, like I said, percent THC with 0% CBD. And what I'm contemplating is taking 1 gram of each and mixing them up in a 20 milliliter bottle, so that I get a 10% solution. But now I got equal amounts, not equal, but I got high amounts of each. And I'm hoping that the CBD content will equal out some of the psychedelic effect of the THC, because I don't like to go around and be stoned all the time. I do like to see some progress. I do like to see some changes in the cancer. So I have to do what I got to do. And I know that this is not dangerous. It's not addictive. It's not like if I'm taking a hormone injection and then I've had my whole body failing on me. Now everything's working. And I like to keep it that way. And in addition to that, I have bought myself a NutriBullet. And I'll never know what it was until I saw one of these high-pitched American advertising where he just can't stop talking. And he talks fast and he talks interesting. And I realized why, because if you just take quickly a look at, if you take a juice presser, then what you do is you trade squeezing all the juice out of whatever you have, and you're left with this dry pulp, which I don't know what you do with that. Probably discard it. But if you turn a blender, then you are basically just having a fast chopper. It chops up things, and it chops up into smaller pieces, but there will still be pieces in there. But then you can do the NutriBullet, and then you can make something like this. And that's going to be my favorite morning drink from now on, that's for sure. So that's a very, very important little change, because in this one here, I've got 5 seeds of apricots, which is blended, and I've got 25 grams of pumpkin seeds. And in this particular case, I just had a almond milk bought, but I will be doing my own almond milk in the future, because all I actually got to do is just add almonds to the thing here, add water, and blend it up. And what really is impressed about it is it's liquid, 100% liquid. I mean, I'm not having any pulp I discard. I don't have anything to chew. This is all liquidized in that blender. It's fantastic. Means I get all the nutrients. That's also one of the reasons why I would not buy the almond milk, because what they do is that they squeeze the almonds for the milk and then discard of the almonds. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to NutriBullet it, and I'm going to get all the nutrients from it. So it gives me high hopes as well. A little add-on. Anyway, other than that, everything is on the same routine, sitting here by my morning table with my tomato juice. I know it should be hot, preferably, but I get it cold. Then I get my little pomegranate extract juice here, no added sugar, but it is sweet, it's fruit. Then I got my green tea with Artemisia annua, 1 measuring spoon of that. And then I've got, as a final little cherry on top, my water with my homemade electrolyte and a lemon in it, squeezed lemon, and a few drops of monk fruit extract to just sweeten it up a little bit. So that's my morning ritual every morning. And so I'm sitting here and enjoying how the weather looks like, which ain't all that good. I mean, probably better than Europe at this time of the year, but it's a bit dry. And the weather is getting really, really hot in daytime. We are closing in on 40 degrees. Anyway, that was just a small update. I'm so positive, and I'm so optimistic that somebody wishing me the best is a negative thing, because it reminds me that there are alternatives to my optimism. But I stay optimistic because I know I'm going on something very, very good. Until next time, stay healthy.